Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And that's your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Welcome back from Atlanta Black Star. I saw this on another YouTube channel, and I couldn't believe it, so I checked it out myself, and it's true. It was just disbelief. Parent files complaint against Atlanta elementary school after learning the principal segregated students based on race. Now, you're going to think, those white racists are all this and that. No. The principal of the school was black. And this is pretty alarming, actually. Let's read on. An Atlanta mom filed a federal complaint against her daughter's Atlanta elementary school after she learned the school was separating students on the basis of race. Wow. In the discrimination complaint filed with the U.S. Department of Education Office of Civil Rights, here's the thing. Who's heading all these departments now? Woke, segregationist, racist, CRT people, all put in by the Obama, oh my gosh, what a Freudian slip, the Biden administration. Actually, it's worse than Obama. And I didn't say Joe Biden, I said the Biden administration, because we all know he's not really the president. As far as a practical matter goes, yes, he was sworn in. Yes, he's the current president by law. But as far as everyday nuts and bolts, things that the president's administration does, he's not in control of any of it. Let's just be straight here for a moment. In a discrimination complaint filed in the U.S. Department of Education Office of Civil Rights, parent Keila Posse claims the principal at Maryland Elementary School, a K-5 school in the Atlanta public school system, put a segregation policy in place because she thought it was best for all students. And there's the principal there. Sharon Briscoe is accused of segregating students by race. Now, let's read on. We've lost sleep trying to figure out why a person would do this, Posse told local TV news station WSB. Posse and her attorney, Sherry Shields, believe the policy is a violation of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And I'm not a lawyer, but it is. Posse found out last year the elementary school was putting black students in two different classes with two different teachers and white students in the 6 classrooms with 6 different teachers. Now, this is interesting. Posse protested the policy when it was allegedly put into place by Principal Sharon Briscoe last year. First, it was just disbelief that I was having this conversation in 2020 with a person that looks like me, a black woman, Posse said, is segregating classrooms. You cannot segregate classrooms. You can't do it. Posse was a vice president of operations for the Parent Teachers Association. Yeah, picked the wrong person to screw over. According to the school website, first learned of the separation after she contacted Briscoe to request that her daughter be placed in a specific classroom with a certain teacher. Must be that teacher has a good rapport with her daughter, so, that's not so outrageous. Briscoe replied by saying that would not work because the teacher's classroom wasn't for black students. She says that's not one of black classes, and I immediately said, what does that mean? I was confused, of course. Now, this is around Atlanta, who's basically Atlanta and the suburbs have turned Georgia into a swing state, lean blue state, as we found out last year. I asked for more clarification. I was like, we have those in the school? And she proceeded to say, I have decided that I'm going to place all the black students in 2 classes. According to Shields, Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 says you cannot treat one group of people differently based on race, and that's what's going on at Mary Lynn now. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry that your daughter can't go in the proper class. I'm sorry that you're surprised that this is going on, but saying what the law says and the Supreme Court says, or the Civil Rights Act of 1964, or a Supreme Court order, these people don't give a damn. They don't care. We're going to do what we want to do and be damned the law. That's the one thing I'll give Republicans. You know, you can slam them for a lot of things. They try the best they can, at least the average Republican walking around, to go along with the law. Now, if a conservative person was in charge of this school, it wouldn't happen because he or she would say, listen, it's against Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. Can't do it. But to them, the judgment, the law, what they believe in is more important than the law. Elsie pushed for her daughter not to be placed in a segregated classroom. I explained to her she shouldn't be isolated or punished because I'm unwilling to go along with your illegal and ethical practice, Posse said. And a reported phone call between Posse and assistant principal. I'd love to hear that. The administrator confirmed that it was the principal's idea to separate the students. Now, here's the weird part. 6 classrooms with white teachers and white students, and 2 classrooms with black students and black teachers. How the hell did nobody find out? 8 classrooms full of children, people that work in the school, under this principal, administrators, clerical workers, you name the janitor, you name it. And nobody said anything? Really? Really? How could nobody, not one of the students says, every kid in my class is white. Every kid in my class is black. What's the deal? And a parent will go, that's a little weird. Let me call and find out. You know, it's obviously it's a majority white, at least for children, school district. If it's 6-2, so that's 3-1. So it's 75% are white or considered white under her CRT guidance, a.k.a. racism. Where are the Asian kids? The Asian Indians, the Asian kids, Chinese, you name it. Where are they? There's got to be some. In a reported phone call, Posse and the assistant principal, the administrator confirmed that it was the principal's idea to separate the students. And this is what she said. I just wish we had more black kids. And some of them are in class because of the services that they need, the administrator said. And there you have it, folks. There you have it. Black children have different needs than white children. All blacks think alike. All blacks are the same. All whites are the same. In this case, she probably thinks racist. All whites are inherently racist, subconsciously. Subconscious bias. I love that. How the hell are you supposed to fix subconscious bias or unconscious bias or whatever the hell the term is? That's the deal. They went from post-Civil War South, Jim Crow days, and the Democrats are now the same racist, but a whole different spin on it. It's still racism. It's a different kind of it. And it's much more blatant. And it's much more in your face. And it's disgusting. And it's wrong. And I love this. End of the story here. The district told WSB-TV in a statement, Atlanta Public Schools do not condone the assignment of students to classrooms based on race. Really? So the Atlanta public school system in Atlanta's got to be huge. I mean, huge. It's a huge city. I'm not sure how many suburbs fall into that school district, but there's a lot of students. And of 8 classrooms, 6 all white with white teachers, 2 all black with black teachers, nobody knew? I don't buy the bullshit. Of course they knew. Shh. Don't say anything. Nobody will notice. What the frick? The district conducted a review of the allegations. Appropriate actions were taken to address the issue, and the matter was closed. Really? What? Look, let's see the review. Let's see the report. And what were the appropriate actions that were taken? Fire the principal? Put her under leave, suspension, say for 90 days without pay? What happened? What's appropriate action? You went to the principal and said, crap. They found out what you were doing, and now we look like crap. So you know what? You got to stop doing it. I know it sucks. I know we have to segregate people by race, and I agree with you, Madam Principal, but you know what? Now it's out in the open. This big mouth mother acting like an ass, and she's black too, and she should really know better. But we got to go now. We got to mix a few white kids and a few black kids in just to make it look good. Well, let's just close the matter. It's a waste of our time. Posey wants Prisco and the administrators to be removed for allowing the system of segregation to be in place. Yeah. And this is the part that burns my ass more than anything else. The U.S. Department of Education is currently investigating the issue. Really? Really? The Department of Education run by a Biden administration appointee who are almost all, I shouldn't say all, almost all CRT, racists. They believe was it Brown versus the Board of Education and was the wrong choice. Instead of saying going along with separate or equal, the court rejected that, and that forced integration. But what they want is separate and equal. The court should have made the black schools better, and that's what they want. Separate graduations, separate this, separate that. What was in Seattle in the library? They were having meetings. Black people in this meeting room, brown people in this meeting room, and whites, whatever's left over, I should say, in the other. It's been going on all over the place. It's been going on for several years now. How did nobody know? Well, they knew. Of course they knew. Jesus, even the janitors knew. It's unbelievable. It really is. Well, folks, there you have it. There's our future. And they are now in control, these like-minded people, of all our schools. I just did a video on a batshit crazy pre-K teacher that was teaching non-binary things to children and about genitals and everything else to pre-K students. They're 4 years old. And she was all excited because a kid said something being non-binary. It's insane. How did this happen? Parents are busy. Usually they both work, or they're single parents that work too much. They send them to school. They're not really paying attention to what they're being taught. They don't ask because it's tough. You work all day. You do what you do the things you do around the house, domestic things, dinner, cleaning, washing, and all the things that everybody has to do every day. And by the end of the day, you're exhausted. And nobody sits down with their kids anymore because they've turned them over to the school districts. And now here we are 20, 30 years later, and all these kids have been brainwashed, are now teachers and principals and administrators, making really big money, really nice benefits, can retire in their 50s at full pay, plus full health insurance, platinum plan for the rest of their lives, or their spouses too. It's insane. We allow it to happen. We allow it to happen. Now, my kids are older. They're in their 30s. I have a granddaughter that's 2.5 that lives in Virginia Beach. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. Try to influence your kids the best you can. And especially now what's going on is the teachers are telling their students, listen, fill this out, do this questionnaire, but don't tell your parents. Don't tell them. That's just between us. It stays in the classroom. They found that out because of COVID and the learning online instead of being in the classroom because they had to separate them. It's disgusting. So, how's that old joke go? Blacks and whites were fighting on the bus about the blacks in the back, who's going to sit where, and finally the bus driver gets mad and says, you know what, I've had enough. As far as I'm concerned, you're all green. Now, all the dark greens in the back and the light greens in the front. I say that because it's a racist joke and it's stupid. But this is the way these people think. These are the way the Democrat Party has gone. They've been taken over. It's like a virus, a fungus that's taken over the Democratic Party, and they are now controlling all of social media, Hollywood, culture, all the schools from pre-K all the way through graduate school and college. Everything. Now they're infiltrating the military. They had litmus tests for the National Guard troops that were supposedly guarding the Capitol after the so-called insurrection. And they removed 2 or 3 because of their political affiliations. This is what's coming. It's going to be a long struggle. But it's a struggle and a war worth fighting. We can beat these people back. But they are relentless, and they are organized, and they are smart. But we can't give up. Sometimes I want to, but the stakes, the price is too high. And that's our entire republic and our American culture. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.